I lost $50,000 and I am screwed. If I could go back to my early 20s and just shake myself, I would. Instead of trying all these get-rich-quick schemes or fast money or the ability to make money in a short amount of time, I would go back and change it all. From options trading, college, large car loans, and even gambling, I've done it all. And I'm here to help you not make those mistakes in your 20s because it ruined me financially. So don't make these mistakes in your 20s. And after I share all these mistakes with you, I'm going to share the one thing that's brought me out of debt. And I'm so grateful for it. Now let's start with my biggest wallet killer, options trading. Now, if you haven't heard of options trading, maybe you should keep it that way. But options trading is basically a high leveraged, high risk, high reward stock trading in where you trade specific contracts on a daily basis for a larger return. Downside of that is you can also lose your entire contract that same day. Now I know this is a little bit technical for a lot of people, but when I was 18, making $200 in 2 hours sounded like a dream. This was money that I had never seen before. And Robinhood made it easier than ever. When I was 18, I opened up my stock account. I started day trading. Sure, maybe I went up a few thousand in the beginning, but after that, things went downhill quickly. I kept investing and investing and investing. And the implied volatility, Greeks, and time decay ate up my contracts and ate up all of the money that I made. And I had lost $25,000 just doing this that I had saved up throughout my entire work history. And just like that, in a matter of a month, it was gone. Options trading is risky. Of course, there are some people that can make money out there. Some people that will sell you a course or sell you signals. But for me, it just wasn't the right move. Speaking of high risk, high reward, let's talk about gambling. Yes, I'm talking about gambling. Gambling has also been a huge problem, not just for me, but people who have run in my family and even my friends. From poker nights to nights at the casino, I've lost a decent amount of money doing this. Now, some people are good at poker and blackjack, but for me, it's more about luck than anything. And you'll see that the casinos are meant to win. So I didn't understand this, but as a 21-year-old fresh to the casinos, I was always told casinos don't look like this for no reason. They're in the business to win, not lose. So that's exactly what they're trying to do. I tried so many different strategies when gambling. The martingale strategy, blackjack, I tried the card count back in the day. Of course, it's way harder than you would imagine. It's just not an easy task. And coming up big in gambling is a luck-based system. So I would recommend gamble moderately or don't gamble at all. Because if you never gamble, you won't lose. The next big mistake that a lot of 20-year-olds make is drinking. Now, I've personally never been interested in drinking or going out to clubs and stuff like that, as I was behind the scenes doing a lot of that. However, I know friends that have had alcohol bills $300-400 a month. Now, that is a lot of money for a young college student. That's probably only making $1,000 to $2,000 a month on average. Spending that much on alcohol, and of course this depends on the city you're in, is a waste of money. If you really want to drink and have a good time, I would recommend just doing it in your own dorm or apartment or place where you can do it at a cheaper rate. That being said, I don't condone drinking of any sort because I'm not a drinker myself. However, this is something that you want to do. Just note, your alcohol bill can get pretty high. Next mistake is a large car loan. Now, I drove a nice car in high school. It was leased under my parents, so I didn't have to pay for the specific lease. However, after that, I went and bought my own car. Being used to that nicer car, I wanted to get something that was comparable to the same. So I took out a large loan and had to pay that loan back. Of course, the car might only cost 15 grand, but with the occurrence of interest as well as payments over time, that 15 grand starts to add up to more like 20 grand. And that's something that no one likes to pay. So if I were you in your 20s, drive a modest car, something that you can afford, live inside your means, because in the long run, you'll be able to afford the big things. Buy used and try to pay it off fast. And try to avoid an emotional purchase. That's what would have saved me back when I was 20. Next mistake is high rent. Now, I'm an advocate of staying at home and living with your parents or grandparents for as long as you can, as it does save you a lot of money, especially in your 20s, while you're still trying to build up your capital and your wealth. That being said, it's not always feasible. You want to make sure that you find a place that is reasonable enough for you. Of course, some places charge rent that is so high. You don't need a luxurious and lavish space. Get something that you can live in, work in, and build up so that you can go out and buy your own property, or your own house, condo, etc. In the future, you'll be glad that you did. So avoid a high rent. Split it. Find roommates. Find people who can split it with you, your significant other. There's a lot of things that you could do to mitigate your total rent. One of my last mistakes that I want to cover. This isn't for everyone. However, college. College is an interesting one because it's very expensive. Now, I went to college and got 2 degrees, one in marketing and one in information technology. However, I didn't have to pay for my degrees. Neither did my parents. I went on a full scholarship. So for me, getting the degrees was worth it. I didn't have to pay any money. I didn't have to front any of my own costs, and I didn't have to get into any debt. However, I see multiple friends in hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt for a college degree that they're not even using right now. So to those people who don't know if college is for them or don't even know if they want to continue in school, I would suggest looking into alternative options. What I mean by that is maybe consider a trade or opening your own business or trying something different that might generate you revenue. College is great, of course. You want to be a nurse, doctor, engineer. Some of these things need degrees, and we need people with college degrees and educations to complete them. However, if you want to run your own business, you don't need a business degree. So before you enter into college and put yourself into so much debt, really think, is this worth it? And am I going to get a return on this investment? Because that's all college is. You get a piece of paper saying that you're knowledgeable in a certain topic. That's your investment. Now you might be asking yourself, what should I do with my money? Or what saved you? Well, business. Business is really what saved me. I know that's not for everyone. However, I opened my very own DJing business when I was 19. And from there, I've been able to make a steady income off of that. Even when pursuing YouTube, music, and other endeavors that I've tried throughout the years, my consistent gig has been DJing and entertainment business. I have made a consistent income to where I've been able to move out and live on my own, pay off all my debts, and actually become nearly debt-free. That being said, business isn't for everyone. So what I would recommend, instead of doing the risky stock options, get a mutual fund, put it in a high-interest savings account, or even the S&P 500, which does on average about a 10 to 11% return per year. These are all great opportunities for young 20-year-olds to get invested into, especially now. Because if I was able to invest all of my money in just the S&P 500 when I was 18, I'd have over 300 grand right now. But of course, not everything works out as you plan. Start a side hustle. It doesn't have to be a business, but washing cars, detailing, mowing lawns, landscaping, these are all hustles that anyone can really do. So I'd recommend to try one and see if you like it. And learn a new skill. This is the biggest thing. YouTube is a great resource. I like to call it YouTube University because you can learn just as much, if not more, through YouTube and online courses that are completely free than you can in some college campuses. Go on YouTube, look up the topics you want to search for, find the things that you're interested in, build your skills, and make yourself marketable so you can earn a wage and earn a reasonable living. Outside of that, don't waste your money on gambling, don't waste your money on alcohol, live below your means, and you'll be just fine. Your future self will thank you that you did. Because if I could go back, I would tell myself the same thing. So hit that subscribe button for more knowledge and more money tips.